Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I am sharing with you some of the things that we did to prepare our house to be on the market. And I'm focusing today on the living spaces. So like living room, dining room, kitchen, family room areas. The first thing we did was to declutter. And that consisted of getting rid of anything that we didn't want to bring to our new house, including like pieces of furniture, and putting in storage anything that we knew we didn't need, weren't going to use in the next like 2 to 3 months. And that just freed up a lot of space, made everything look more open and airy, and it made the spaces look much bigger than they did before, which is always a plus when you're trying to sell your house. The second thing I did was to give the ceiling and the walls a fresh coat of paint. I had been updating the color scheme in our house over the past year or so, and I had not gotten around to those rooms, so they were not really flowing nicely with the other rooms, and that's why I felt it necessary to paint. And it was also a good opportunity to make sure that any nail holes were patched up and that the walls were looking good. So everything got a fresh coat of paint, looked nice, and it was a nice background for everything else. The third thing we did was to add draperies, which is probably a no-brainer for most people, but I had never gotten around to doing draperies in those rooms. Generally when I design rooms, I do the entire room all at once. So I'm working on one room from start to finish. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to do it that way in this house. I think I might do it in pieces, which is nicer to live with, I think. But yeah, I had bare windows for years and years and years. So putting some inexpensive draperies, they were just from IKEA, on the windows made it look a ton better than the bare windows. Okay. The fourth thing we did was to replace the carpeting in the living room. And I probably wouldn't have done that, except it was the original carpeting. It looked really bad and you could really see the traffic lines. I had steam cleaned it many times. It was the cleanest it was getting, but I did not want anything to detract from the house. So I did find it a good investment to invest in the new carpet so that there wouldn't be this big negative when people walked into the living room, and I did know that it would stand out. So we did get new carpeting that matched the whole color scheme and just kind of blended into the background, which was what I wanted. In the kitchen, we only made a few updates, the biggest one being hardware on the cabinets. Made a huge difference and made it look more modern and updated. We also updated the faucet from the regular builder grade cheap faucet that was in there, and cleaned off the counters. We took off about half of the items that were on the counters. We wanted it to be really more minimal, going with the decluttering thing I spoke about earlier. It made everything look brighter and more open and bigger. The only other thing that I invested money in were a couple accessories, like a table runner for the Nook table, and some picture frames that I just cut out pictures from a book that we already had on the solar system and put those on the wall as our artwork. And that was it. So I hope you enjoyed our before and after pictures, and I hope you got some useful information if you're looking to sell your house, even though it's nothing new, but you could just see how we implemented those couple little things that really weren't that expensive to really update the house and make it look a lot better than it was before so that we could sell it very quickly. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time with a video from our new house. See you later. Bye.